Stop exactly where you are, put down your phone, sit down if you are standing, and prepare your heart for the most magical, the most anticipated, and the most visually stunning moment in the history of the Dilbar fandom. We have watched them fall in love on screen as Dylan and Baron. We have watched them fall in love off screen as Yağmur and Bariş. We have survived the rumors, the secret glances, and the hidden messages. But today, the hiding is over. Today, the fairy tale has reached its climax. A video has just surfaced on social media, a high-definition video taken by a tourist drone in the magical valleys of Cappadocia at sunrise. That captures the exact moment Baktaş got down on one knee and asked Yağmur to spend the rest of her life with him. This is not a drill. This is not a scene from Kinsasekleri. This is real life, and it is more romantic than any script could ever be. The video shows a love so pure and so intense that it has silenced every critic and brought millions of fans to tears. The king has finally asked his queen to wear his crown forever. The scene in the video is breathtaking. It is early morning in Cappadocia. The sky is painted in shades of pastel pink, orange, and soft purple as the sun begins to peek over the fairy chimneys. Dozens of hot air balloons are floating in the background, creating a dreamlike atmosphere. The camera pans down to a private, secluded terrace of a luxury cave hotel, a terrace that had been covered in hundreds of white candles and a carpet of red rose petals. Standing in the center of this romantic haven are Bariş and Yağmur. They are dressed casually but stylishly. Bariş is wearing a beige trench coat and a white turtleneck, looking like a movie star, while Yağmur is wearing a flowing white maxi dress with a shawl wrapped around her shoulders against the morning chill. At the beginning of the clip, they seem to be just admiring the view. Bariş is standing behind her, his arms wrapped around her waist, resting his chin on her shoulder. They look peaceful, happy, and completely alone. But then, Bariş gently turns her around. You can see the confusion on Yağmur's face. He says something to her. We can't hear the audio, but lip readers are already claiming he said, "You are my sunrise." He holds her hands, looking deep into her eyes, and the atmosphere shifts. Yağmur puts a hand to her chest. She seems to sense that something huge is coming. And then it happens. The moment that will be edited into fan videos for the next 10 years. Baktaş takes a step back. He reaches into the pocket of his coat. He pulls out a small, dark velvet box. And with the grace of a prince, he slowly lowers himself onto one knee. The reaction from Yağmur is visceral. She doesn't just smile, she collapses. Her hands fly to her mouth to stifle a scream. Her knees buckle, and she has to grab Barisz's shoulder to steady herself. She starts crying immediately, shoulders shaking, uncontrollable happy tears. Barisz looks up at her with a smile that is so full of love, so full of hope, it practically illuminates the screen. He opens the box. Even from the distance of the drone, the sparkle is visible. It is a massive solitaire diamond, catching the first rays of the morning sun, shining like a star. He speaks to her. He stays on his knee for what feels like an eternity, pouring his heart out. According to insiders who claim to know the details, Barisz didn't just ask, "Will you marry me?" He reportedly gave a speech. He told her that she saved him. He told her that before her, he was just existing, but with her, he is living. He told her that he wants to wake up to her face every morning for the next 50 years. Finally, Yağmur nods. She nods frantically, saying yes over and over again. Barisz stands up, takes the ring out of the box, and slides it onto her trembling finger. Then, he grabs her by the waist and lifts her off the ground, spinning her around while she wraps her arms around his neck, burying her face in his shoulder. It is a moment of pure, unadulterated joy. When he puts her down, he frames her face with his hands and kisses her a long, passionate kiss that seals their promise under the witnessing sky of Cappadocia. But the video has a second part that is equally touching. After the proposal, they sit down on the edge of the terrace, watching the balloons. Barisz keeps kissing her hand, looking at the ring, then looking at her, as if he can't believe she said yes. At one point, He takes out his phone and they take a selfie, the first selfie of their engagement. That photo hasn't been posted yet, but when it is, it will break Instagram records. The internet has gone into a total meltdown. The hashtag she said yes and hashtag Bariş Mırnasın, Bariş Yağmur engagement, are trending at #1 globally. Fans are zooming in on the ring, estimating its carats. Rumor has it, it's a 4-carat custom design worth a fortune. They are crying over Bariš's drop. They are praising his choice of location. Cappadocia is known as the land of beautiful horses and fairy tales, the perfect backdrop for a love story that has defied all odds. This proposal changes everything. It means the secret marriage rumors were just a prelude to this official, grand gesture. Bariş wanted to do it right. He wanted to give her the romance she deserves. He didn't want a secret. He wanted a celebration. This also explains their recent glow on set. They knew this was coming. They were preparing for the next chapter. Now, the questions begin. When is the wedding? Will it be a summer wedding in Bodrum or a winter wedding in a historic mansion in Istanbul? Who will be the witnesses? Will the cast of Knelt be the bridesmaids and groomsmen? And most importantly, will we get a televised wedding? Knowing Bariş, he might want to keep the ceremony private, but after a proposal this public, thanks to the drone, the world will be watching their every move. We also have to talk about the hater factor. For months, people said it was PR. People said they didn't get along. This video is the ultimate silencer. You don't kneel on a cold stone terrace at 5 a.m. for PR. You don't cry like Yağmur cried for a contract. This is real. This is raw. This is the kind of love that people write songs about. I want to ask you, my dear subscribers, how many times have you watched the video? Be honest. Did you cry when he knelt down? And what do you think of the ring? Do you think they will get married before the season ends, or will they wait for the hiatus? Personally, I think Bariş is impatient. He has waited long enough to call her his wife. I wouldn't be surprised if we hear wedding bells within the next 3 months. This is a victory for love. It is a victory for patience. Bariş Baktaş and Yağmur Yüksel have shown us that true love is worth fighting for, worth waiting for, and definitely worth a sunrise proposal in Cappadocia. Make sure you are subscribed and make sure the bell is on. We will be tracking every detail of the wedding planning. Today, we celebrate the engagement of the king and queen. Congratulations, Dilbar family. Goodbye.